is 680 News. Toronto's one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, April 13th. I'm KPT, and I'm Judy Friedman. Here's what's making news this hour. The province ramps up its vaccine rollout, opening a pop-up site in Northcote, a COVID hotspot, as well as employer-operated vaccine clinics at job sites. More family doctors are joining the fight against COVID-19.
All of us as family doctors leaning in to make sure we can do everything we can
by getting Ontarians vaccinated.
A woman in Quebec is the first patient in Canada to report a blood clot after receiving the AstraZeneca vaccine. Health officials say a very rare side effect, and the risks of COVID are far worse than the vaccine.
Protests at MTO inspection stations causing visual distractions on 2 GTA highways. We'll tell you why dump truck operators are protesting, plus a full traffic report just seconds away.
A busy night in Toronto sports. Blue Jays.
If you watch the last video, the very last 10 minutes, Chomo is getting so pissed off. And what he's trying to do is make it so I'll sit here for 20 minutes so he can go rob the coffee shop or whatever. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry.
7:31. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Good evening, Carly.
KRS with a CB radio.
This report is brought to you by City TV. Right now on the westbound 401 approaching the Allen in the Express, we have a left lane and part of the center lane blocked with ladders. So just waiting for MTO crews to get there and pick that up. Then we have the dump truck protest going on throughout the GTA. So northbound on the 400 north of King Road, they're off into the MTO inspection site there. The scale. And westbound on the QEW.
The scales, they can't just say scales or weigh station. They got to come up with 6 other ways.
Third line. They've also shut down the northbound third line ramp to the east QEW, and Toronto bound on the QEW over the Burlington Skyway. 2 right lanes are blocked off due to construction. That is not causing a delay. We're delay free within the GTA right now. On city streets, northbound Don Mills at Fairview Mall, 3 left lanes closed due to a collision. They're using the left turn lane to get by. Wednesday on Breakfast Television, free digital art camps that will entertain your kids, plus inspiring recipes to get you out of your cooking rut. Watch Breakfast Television weekdays at 6 a.m. on City TV. Now the forecast, here is Natasha.
Yeah, that's Canada. We don't have a breakfast program, but we have breakfast programming on television.
We'll likely see a few fog patches in the morning, but it's going to be pretty sunny to start off tomorrow once that fog lifts, increasing afternoon clouds with a high of 15 degrees, and it's not until after 6-7 p.m. tomorrow we'll get into some light rain. So if you are heading out in the evening, pack an umbrella. Overnight tonight down to a low of 5 degrees.
Mainly sunny still in downtown Toronto at 12 degrees. It is 13 degrees at Pearson. 680 News Time, 7:33. The province making moves to try and clear up confusion about the vaccine rollout. This as a large pop-up clinic is set to open in North Etobicoke this week. 680's Phil Martino joins us live with more. Phil. Judy, the pop-up vaccine clinic will operate out of the BAPS complex on Clairville Drive in the Finch and Highway 427 area for the next 3 weeks. Yogesh Pate, who's president of the VAPS Charities, is encouraging people to take advantage of these kinds of vaccination sites.
We thank the Government of Ontario for selecting VAPS Charities and to give us this opportunity to host a vaccine clinic here and serve the community.
The Premier says they're relying on vaccination sites just like this one in high-risk neighborhoods to get thousands of shots administered in communities where they'll have the greatest impact. According to Doug Ford, they're also opening employer-operated vaccine clinics at job sites.
They're also vaccinating residents of surrounding communities. This is how we're protecting our workers and who can't work and go work at home, I should say. That's how we're going to protect these folks. We're fighting the virus with everything we've got, and vaccines remain our best defense.
There has been some confusion about the vaccine rollout.
The immunologist said actually natural infection gets you the best immunity. That's what they said.
Designated hotspots cannot book using the provincial system and are only eligible to receive the vaccine through the mobile and pop-up clinics. So the province says find your public health unit and check its website for details about upcoming mobile and pop-up vaccination clinics in your area. For more information on the rollout, you can visit 680news.com. Phil Martino, 680 News.
680 News Time, 7:35. We have breaking news from the University Health Network, which says registration for a shot for those aged 18 to 49 in 3 postal codes has been temporarily paused due to a shortage of supply. Those living in M5V, M6E, and M6H who've already registered will be contacted.
That's us right here.
It comes as questions remain about how 114 hotspot postal codes were selected and if politics played a role. 680 Richard 7 reports.
An analysis by the CDC found that 7 COVID hotspots that are currently held by an opposition MPP didn't get picked for this 18 and over vaccination. However, 4 of 5 hotspots that are held by PC MPPs did get picked, even though those areas were far less affected by the pandemic than others. However, Health Minister Christine Elliott claiming that everything is on the up and up.
Absolutely no political motivation whatsoever. This was all decided upon the basis of the clinical evidence.
Opposition leader Andrea Horvath.
I hope like heck that that's not what's going on here. Because if that's what's going on here, it is irresponsible, it is reprehensible, it's disgusting.
I'm Richard Southern.
Family doctors across the province are preparing to help administer vaccine doses in the hopes of ramping up the province's rollout. 680's Michelle Morton joins us live with the details.
Michelle, the breakthrough vaccine, the vaccine breakthrough. Where is George Carlin? We need George Carlin right now.
300 family practices across the province are being onboarded to administer vaccines.
Blood clots! Yeah, you never heard so many white people in a row saying blood clots.
6 public health units with 90 practices administer the AstraZeneca dose, but family doctors have been calling to get more involved in the rollout. Mugga says because a lot of people have questions about vaccines, family physicians can help Ontarians feel more comfortable about getting a shot.
Those patients who, we think about 30% are still hesitant in the Ontario population. So the chance for them to come and see us and ask those questions and have answers given to them by somebody who they trust, who knows, what their personal history is, what their medical history is, and
who does not have any scientific or medical training or even basic understanding whatsoever. I know, I see all you Skindians. I got my shot. No side effects. Elders must take it. You won't see side effects for at least 3 weeks. And when you find out 20 years from now you're all sterile, or statistically twice as many of you are sterile, you'll understand mercury is a cumulative toxin. Oh, you don't care about it because that's a different tribe of Indians. It's not your problem, right?
The joint CDC and FDA review will look into data involving 6 reported cases of blood clots out of more than 6.8 million doses administered. U.S. top Dr. Anthony Fauci reassuring everyone who's already received the J&J vaccine they likely have nothing to worry about, but he thinks the pause is a responsible move.
It's something that apparently did not show up in the Johnson & Johnson trials.
I think this is an unusual occurrence of a serious adverse event that you want to make sure before you go forward, you investigate it thoroughly.
He thinks. Now just remember, no matter how professional or experienced he is, we just got told in the same sentence, it didn't show up in the trials. It's not in the scientific data. So if you're forming an opinion on it, you are not reviewing the scientific data anymore.
Regulator looks into similar concerns out of the U.S. over the single-dose Johnson & Johnson shot. 680's Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney has more.
A woman in Quebec is the first patient to report developing a blood clot after receiving the AstraZeneca vaccine. Officials say she's recovering at home and her life is not in danger. She had received the shot produced at the Serum Institute in India, and Health Canada notes that this adverse effect is extremely rare, and the risks around contracting COVID-19 are far greater. The federal health minister says she has faith in our regulator to determine if the shot is safe and act if it isn't, something echoed by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Everyone at Health Canada.
The risks are far greater unless you've already contracted COVID-19, in which case the vaccine cannot boost or improve your immunity whatsoever. The virologists and immunologists already told us that. So you're increasing the potential for adverse events without increasing the benefit. Why are you saying that? When you know a good chunk of the population already got infected, why are you insisting we also need to get the vaccine? When the immunologists and virologists and epidemiologists are saying, no, that doesn't make sense. They're already immune, as they're going to be. And they've already said the antibodies produced seem to last 3 to 6 months. I believe that because I got the variant 7 months after COVID-19. All right. It's only been 5 months, and I keep getting exposed over and over and over to virion, and I'm not getting symptomatic. But I can still, I'm well aware, I'm shedding live virus when that happens. And it's not just COVID. There's all sorts of other viruses out there.
Now the 680 News gas price
Oh, things are so bad. We're forced to have to reuse needles at the long-term care home.
Oh no, there's water everywhere.
Dad, a pipe broke. My poor carpet.
We need a plumber.
And fast. Roto-Rooter does plumbing. We need somebody to clean up this water. And Roto-Rooter does water cleanup.
As soon as I can find the phone in all this water, I'm calling a bunch of people.
I told you, Roto-Rooter does both. 1-800-GET-ROTO.
Wait, Roto-Rooter does plumbing?
And water cleanup? Yeah, they do both. 1-800-GET-ROTO.
What's their number?
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain. Mazda of Toronto is Ontario's #1 Mazda volume dealer for 7 years in a row. Plus, the Mazda 3 has won AJAC Best Midsize Car in Canada 2 years in a row. To be the best, it takes a team. And when that team offers the #1 car from the #1 volume dealership, that's truly a championship team. We're still open. Book an appointment and get your #1 deal today at Mazda of Toronto. On Yonge, just south of Steeles. See MazdaofToronto.com.
Do this 6 times to top up that tank.
680 News Time, 7:41. Time for traffic and weather. Together on the wires, here is Carlin Donahue. This report is brought to you by Loblaws. Right now on the major highways, we have dump truck protests going on in the MTO scales in 3 different locations. Northbound 400 north of King Road, they're located there. There's no delay through this stretch. Westbound on the QEW approaching 3rd line is where they're hanging out, and no delay there either. And then eastbound on the QEW east of 3rd line, they're sitting in the MTO scales there. There's no delay, but we do have the northbound 3rd line ramp to the east QEW shut down due to this protest. On the Toronto-bound QEW over the Burlington Skyway, 2 right lanes blocked off for maintenance. And that's it for the major highways. On city streets, northbound Don Mills, 3 left lanes closed at Fairview Mall. Vehicles using the left turn lane to get through, and that's all due to a collision. Earn PC Optimum points exclusively at Esso and Mobile stations. Fill your tank, fuel your points at over 2,000 Esso and Mobile stations. Now the forecast. Here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Mainly clear skies through this evening. Now overnight, because the winds are calm, there's a little bit of moisture in the atmosphere. We'll likely see some fog patches redevelop for the morning as you wake up to 5 degrees. And then that fog is going to lift. And guess what comes out? The sunshine for at least the first half of tomorrow. Increasing afternoon cloud and 15 degrees. A millimeter or 2, very light rain after
I think I got 52% humidity.
And then Thursday, walk with the umbrella because this is the day you got to open it, shut it, on and off rain through the day. So sunny breaks in there as well. So it's not a washout of a day, 9 degrees, and we'll likely see wet flurries mixing in over the Dundalk Highlands. Tonight we're down to a low of 5 degrees.
It's mainly clear in downtown Toronto. We're sitting at 12 degrees, 13 degrees, mainly clear skies at Pearson. 680 News Time, 7:43. Happening now, dump truck drivers staging protests on stretches of the QEW and the 400, causing a visual distraction for drivers for a second day. 680's Karen Siowen joins us live with more on the reason why this is happening. Karen.
Caitlin, drivers are protesting new equipment requirements for dump trucks older than 15 years of age. They don't want to spend the tens of thousands of dollars necessary to upgrade their vehicles to new provincial standards.
They don't want to, and they said tens of thousands, not 50 grand, tens of thousands necessary.
And able to carry on for so many years.
What about cement trucks, fuel trucks, every other type of truck? What about buses? How come there's still buses out there without seatbelts?
After a 10-year grace period, court says the association was not aware the MTO was going to actually enforce it.
Our association was not given any kind
of... You people don't believe none of it. It just says so on paper. They won't actually. You wouldn't believe how many white people I met try to argue the law with me. And they go, oh, well, they want to enforce it. They want to enforce it because they're convinced and emboldened that white people will not get in trouble with the law. I've seen this over and over and over. I can't count the number of people. Oh, the cops sort of know what I'm doing. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, they sort of look at me when they drive by, so I know that they sort of know what I'm doing. Like, you're a fucking idiot.
Is a silly question to ask. On the contrary, the questions that I have are more than adequately answered.
I still don't know what the requirements are. 10 years ago, or not even, 2012, the protests, dump truck protests were about being required to carry overweight loads. No enforcement by the authorities. And if you didn't take the overweight loads, you didn't work. Well, you guys weren't working together. Okay, I don't work. I would take the overweight load and dump it on the ramp on the way in. Fuck you. Not the ramp on the way out, the one on the way in. So all the empty trucks got to go in through the exit. I'm an asshole. You don't know.
Bachelor in Paradise, Canada, coming soon to City TV.
Toronto's news. Now, this is 680 News.
It is 13 degrees, partly cloudy. Good evening. I'm Kimberly and I'm Judy Friedman. Here are the top stories this hour. The province taking steps to ramp up vaccine rollouts. A pop-up clinic will open this week in North Etobicoke, a COVID hotspot, as the Ford government also promises to bring the shot to job sites. Meantime, hundreds of family doctors and nurses are also preparing to put more shots in arms. The province promising those living in 114 hotspot postal codes over the age of 18 will be able to get a shot. They've had to pause appointments, though, for 3 of them due to a vaccine supply shortage. Those living in the M5V, M6E, and M6H postal codes will be contacted. And Johnson & Johnson
COVID-19 really? You're going to contact me?
Reports of rare blood clots. This as Canada sees its first report of a very rare blood clot following.
So the postal code here is murder 6, homicide 4, gangster 1. I'm not joking.
Time for 680 Sports from Sports.
Oh, enough of that. Give me a sec. Well, the phone doesn't want to turn on fast enough. So I said at the end of the last video, I said Chomo's gonna fucking shit all over this video. He doesn't want to hear it. Knowledge, teaching, and you don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. He really believes he's gonna stop you from finding it if I post a link here. That's what that last 15 minutes of that video is. Is every time I go to paste the link, another fucking weirdo thing happens on my screen. I'm supposed to care. You hack TV sets. Wow, you're not hacking, bro. You're trying to spy on little kids that don't know any different.
3, 2, 1.
So they're going to talk about, they're going to try to ignore this thing about Russia being the first human in space. And they're going to look at how diverse America is. We blew up the first black and Chinese astronaut. Don't forget what actually happened. They weren't the first in space, were they? They blew up, didn't they? Oh, that's, but they'll keep playing games 2 ways to the middle, won't they? Oh. What the fucking hell? Please, keep changing the settings on my phone. It's hilarious. It's hilarious when you do this. You're not a hacker, bro. Wow, what is wrong with my fucking phone? Fucking hell, man. Yes, every single possible hurdle and delay. Every single possible one. You're hilarious. You're hilarious. You couldn't do this if it wasn't for the manufacturer's backdoors and the wiretap authorities. We know you couldn't do this, so that's why we laughed at you. The only reason we keep all these old phones and devices around is to give you something to play with. Okay. Even the fucking cops figured that out. Oh, Jesus, that's loud. All right, let's see how quickly we lose audio when I click this. Okay. Oh, I hear nothing. What did you just do, Sean? I said I was gonna click on it, but like, whether I did or didn't is in question now. If I didn't, then what the fuck just happened to this side of the screen? Your triggers are showing, Shomo. You need to find somebody else to stare at, for real. No, like maybe somebody that doesn't realize he's streaming. I know the camera's on. I turned it on.
Whatever might go down, we gonna survive that. From homes and shelter, we gonna find that. When you hear this sound, you know that I'm back. Hey, that's where I put your mind at. Disaster hit, don't you get trapped in it. You must always stay prepared with your disaster kit. In the club, you might be drunken, so you may laugh at it. But when you sober up, you know it is what you have to get. Stay prepared, never be fearful or even scared. These natural disasters cannot be compared. So rise and realize you will survive. In the meantime, prepare yourself with these supplies. Get coils of rope and coils of wire. In a waterproof container, put all your fire. Like matches and candles, and don't wear sandals. Get some hard boots and work gloves to handle the situation. Cause when disaster hits the nation, you and your family gonna need your medication. Antibiotics, aspirin, the chronic, even health foods like vitamins and garlic, pain relievers, inhalers and breathers. And make sure you got something that can take down the fever. A spray bottle of water with 10% bleach, so you can disinfect the objects you reach. And speaking of bleach, here's what I teach. Don't think that you can drink the water from the beach. You're gonna have to drink that water from your hood and purify your water to make sure it's all good. Put things in order. Put 8 drops of pure unscented liquid bleach into the water. Use only 8 drops for every 1 gallon you working. You'll need about 5 gallons a person. With no water, things can get lethal. It's dehydration, not starvation, that kills people. So look for the water first. Don't be robbing and looting and stealing and killing. That'll only make things worse. Be smart, plan ahead, save some cash, a radio, some gas, and some blow-up beds. Keep your disaster kit high on the shelf with your weapons. You might have to defend yourself. Get a flashlight, chemical light sticks, and all that. A compass, some dry food, maybe a road map. Don't forget things like peroxide and Listerine, bandages and antihistamines like Benadryl. So when things get ill, you will survive because you really got skill. You opened your eyes after you got your list of supplies. Check your attitude. Know that you're gonna survive. Whatever might go down, we gonna survive that. Food, clothes, and shelter, we gonna find that. When you hear this sound, you know that I'm back. Hey, that's where I put your mind at.
It's 8 years old. That's what Chomo was so upset about earlier, that you might accidentally hear it.
And purify your water to make sure it's all good. Put things in order. Put 8 drops of pure unscented liquid bleach into the water. Use only 8 drops for every 1 gallon you working. You'll need about 5 gallons a person. With no water, things can get lethal. It's dehydration, not starvation, that kills people. So look for the water first. Don't be robbing and looting and stealing and killing. That'll only make things worse. Be smart, plan ahead, save some cash, a radio, some gas, and some blow-up beds. Keep your disaster kit.
Wow, Chomo's mad! Mad! Wow!
Get a flashlight, chemical light.
Come on, Chomo! Get a real interview. You're so mad. You waited that long.
Things like peroxide and Listerine, bandages and antihistamines like Benadryl. So opened your eyes after you got your list of supplies.
Yep, every time I look at the screen, it's gonna freeze. And then I'm gonna pucker my lips and tilt my head up and crunch my eyes shut and all this other weirdo shit you're doing. Holy fuck. Your connection's unstable. Holy fuck, bro. Holy fuck, bro. You're getting mad. So I don't understand your purpose, you waste, man. You're still doing the same fucking shit. Holy fuck, bro. You're mad. He's upset. How dare you teach these people anything? You're mad. What are you mad for, bro? Come on, pussy. Get a real fucking internet connection if you're gonna do this. Jesus Christ, bro, I've been waiting 2 fucking minutes for you to finish. You can see me typing. What are you doing exactly? The software is waiting for you to finish, is waiting for your computer to connect. Your internet is so poor, you cannot hack from your connection, dumbass. Wow. Are you fucking finished? You froze the other side of the browser completely. Congratulations. That's the same thing you did last time. Where's the audio? No? You're such a fucking genius. You're going to attack everybody. Yep, eyes closed. You're going to convince me that I'm sitting here doing this. See, every time I do that, he unfreezes the viewfinder. Holy fuck, bro. Even the